everyone, and welcome to Off the Cuff, where the headlines come to life and WDHT is rocking today. We have with us Lydia Lyon, originally from St. Louis, Missouri, residing in Boston and really making a splash out there in the entertainment industry. A wonderful, gorgeous singer, sings like an angel. Can't wait for you to hear her. Welcome, Lydia Lyon.
Thank you.
To Off the Cuff. It's so wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Lydia, you are in the entertainment business in Boston, and of course that wasn't something that you've done forever.
Mm-hmm.
You're very, very, very young and yet very, very accomplished in the entertainment industry.
Thank you.
Talk to us about your beginnings. You grew up in St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
Missouri.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was nice. It's very calm and very family oriented there, so I really enjoyed it and had a lot of friends. I guess I started to really pick up music, from probably when I was 3.
Usually singers who are really good start at a very, very young age.
Yes.
Now, were you encouraged by family and friends to sing?
Well, my school my school had a program, like a choir program. So I guess when I was about in middle school, my mom suggested, why don't you take, I heard you singing in the shower and I know you're singing in choir at school, so why don't you try out for the children's symphony chorus?
Oh.
And so that's kind of where I began my singing.
And how old were you?
I was 12, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, I was 12.
So the
11.
singing chorus. So what did that lead you to?
That led me to, in St. Louis, to sing with the symphony, with the adult chorus and the symphony, and also it made me, I was a violinist initially, so it made me want to incorporate singing into my performances as a violinist as well.
Wow,
so
beautiful. Now, did you ever play violin professionally as well?
Yes, I started playing violin professionally, years ago, before I started singing, actually.
Okay, so where
Yes.
did you learn violin? I mean, was that like, did you go to learn professionally, or was it through school? Or?
Since the age of 3, I was taking private lessons in violin. And
I'm just picturing a 3-year-old little Lydia who's probably gorgeous with the violin in her hand.
It all starts with a cardboard box and a ruler, and a pencil as a bow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But when I got to high school, I had a band leader who was so influential and really changed my perspective on my instrument. I was always a fiddler, playing Celtic bluegrass and some jazz. But when I went to high school, I really wanted to play jazz, and he built a program basically around me and a friend who played viola, and he made our jazz band string-centric instead of horn-centric, which really promoted my growth and allowed me also to sing, because we were singing old jazz standards. And he was a professional musician, so he took us on the road with him all the time, which is how I began my professional career as a musician in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Like when you say took us on the road, I mean, where did you go to different cities to perform?
Mm-hmm. We went, of course, to contests. Sometimes he would have us performing, in the cities that we had contests, so he would have a festival going on, and with his band, they're all adults, he would take a few of his students and throw us on stage, and we'd be his string section, and he would call us out to sing and, all of this stuff. So we were kind of incorporated in his group, and we played local shows and in big venues around St. Louis. So it was really cool.
Well, that sounds exciting. So that was someone that really saw your talent at a very early age.
He really tried to nurture all of his
encouraged you.
students. Yeah.
When you think about violin, you think more of the, the classical and stuff. That's not what you play. You play the more, hip kind of.
Yes, I was really into it because the classical music scene is so rich in St. Louis, but it also has a lot of really big jazz roots, and I guess I've always kind of been this kind of free flowing, this is kind of musician, kind of stereotype, I guess, that my mom says, but I couldn't get with the rigidity of it. I couldn't. I couldn't really vibe in that level, so I had to kind of take the more whimsical approach of playing jazz and all of these kinds of really cool contemporary music that I could really play well and express myself. improvisationally.
That probably was a good thing.
It was. I loved it.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't understand because a lot of ideas about violinists are very strict and rigid, so you
Right.
follow a very strict path. But I decided otherwise.
You gave it your own kind of style.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So you basically lived most of your life in St. Louis, and then you went to Boston. Tell us about that journey.
Oh, I knew I wanted to go to Berklee. I went to Berklee College of Music. I knew I wanted to go there, and probably 3 years before I actually went, my instructor at school, the band leader, said, you really should look into Berklee. I think you're, perfect for that school. So my mind was always set on it. So when I finally got in, I was so happy, and I went to Berklee and, in a hurry. I was so happy to be there. When I got to Boston, I was so relieved, and I saw people carrying around their instruments, and I told my mom, I was like, everybody's like a warrior for their instrument with their instrument strapped to their back, having a statement about their music, and it made me feel so free and so validated in my journey to become a musician, I guess.
Absolutely. What a nice way to put it. So did you have your violin strapped on your back?
Of course I did. It was like my accessory, So excited.
So was the violin something that was very prominent, or were you sort of the exception in terms of your instrument?
Violin, you mean in the school?
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, there were a lot of, the string program was so strong because we had, the first person I was introduced to maybe 2 summers before was a man named Eugene Friesen. He's an amazing cellist, contemporary cellist, and he taught me all about improvisation on a level that I had never even conceived before. So when I came to the school, I was so excited to go to his class directly and learn all that I could. And just to see all of the strings together playing, we'd sit in a room and we'd close our eyes and somebody would just play something, one thing. And then we'd all build, off of this one thing that somebody played.
Sound.
And we just created this basically a symphony of sound that was so beautiful and so organic. And in that context, it was so beautiful because strings are not usually taught to do that, to just express and not
right. It's more like the drums and the guitar, which is string. But violin, it's you really have to have that imaginative style to make it work.
Yeah, and that was so freeing. So Berklee really enhanced and encourages that.
That's wonderful. I sort of fiddled around with the guitar a little bit, and I actually took a couple of classes. I can't play a note to save my life today, but it's just a couple of chords. But it is freeing and it's wonderful and it's very, very, very artistic. You are an amazing singer. I had the honor and pleasure to hear you sing the other day, and as a vocalist, you sort of have the whole package, which is absolutely lovely.
Thank you.
Are you going to sing a song for us?
Sure. I can.
Now, do you actually compose your own music?
I do. Yes.
Okay. And your songs?
Yes.
Is this something that you wrote, lyrics that you wrote, or is it?
Yes.
So you're going to sing an original?
Yes, I'll sing an original.
All right, everyone. Lydia is going to sing an original song that she wrote for us, and she's going to do it right now, and you're going to do it a cappella.
Yes.
Beautiful.
The song is called Breakthrough.
Breakthrough. Okay, Lydia and Breakthrough, please.
There's a season for every mood and a reason for bad and good. But light comes only when eyes are open, giving strength to feel again. And love conquers hate. Only we determine our fate, and we'll find our way. I know we'll find the way.
Beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. you do this professionally now in Boston, right?
Yes.
Talk to us about that. What is your career like? I know that you're I don't want to say up and coming because you are an accomplished singer already at a very, very young age. But talk to us about your experience and where you're entertained and where somebody gets to hear your beautiful music.
Sure. Well, I last May released my first original EP.
Soundtrack kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was very excited, and I had a release party for that, and it was so much fun. I play a lot in Cambridge. That's where I live. There are a lot of really good music venues there, and the crowd is so receptive to new music. And lately, I've really been playing with different bands. Usually I'll play with a general business band, kind of, something like Motown music, funk, hip-hop, pop music around town, and we travel a bit. So,
where have you actually traveled? I mean, what venues have you played at?
I was in Rhode Island at this place called Top of the Bay. It's a really nice restaurant. They have live entertainment on weekends and everything like that. I've actually traveled to St. Louis. I've played in the Pageant, for example, which is like our music venue where all of the kind of
concerts
and everything happens. And Boston, I've played in a lot of smaller venues like the Middle East and everything like that, which is a very prominent music venue, so a lot of events come through. And also, I had the chance to perform with different musicians in like BU and stuff like that. So we go to universities, and I've played in sessions and everything like that. So.
Oh, very, very exciting. You said you played in the Middle East? Now, that's a venue in Boston?
Yes, it's a club.
Okay. I think music is such a universal connector to so many different things. And I think even if you don't know the language or you don't understand the song, somehow we can all sort of connect to that song universally, because I believe music is sort of an element of bringing peace and bringing people together. And you have a beautiful element about your singing and about your sort of outreach in terms of international singing and that flavor and that genre. I'm going to ask you to sing us another song.
Sure.
But first of all, I want to ask you a really quick question. Do you speak Arabic at all?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Yeah, just a few words
here and there.
But
okay. And I know this next song, which totally amazed me when I heard you sing it.
Thank you.
And you sing it so beautifully. It is called
Helwa Ya Baladi.
Helwa Ya Baladi. And yes, Lydia is actually going to sing Helwa Ya Baladi with us here today. Does not speak too much Arabic at all, but you have to hear her sing this beautiful, beautiful song that's really a connector to peoples all over. So Lydia with Baladi.
كلمة حلوة وكلمتين حلوة يا بلدي غنوة حلوة وغنوتين حلوة يا بلدي أملي دايما كان يا بلدي إني أرجع لك يا بلدي وأفضل دايما جنبك على طول ذكريات كل اللي فات فاكرة يا بلدي قلبي ملياه بحكايات فاكرة يا بلدي أول حب كان في بلدي مش ممكن أنساه يا بلدي فين أيام زمان قبل الوداع كنا بنقول إن الفرح ده مستحيل وكل دمعة للخدين كانت بتسيل مليانة بأمل إن احنا نبقى موجودين في بحر الحب على الشطين.
Wow, that's amazing. That is really beautiful and amazing.
Thank you so much.
Wow. To be able to, verbally present that song, and it's a very difficult song to sing, and to present it so beautifully as you did. I know there's a journey and there's a story behind that. So, what attracted you to be able to sing songs in Arabic, and obviously your voice is very conducive to it and gorgeous. So I'm just taken by such a young lady with such talent. So tell us how that all came about.
Thank you. Well, I had a lot of Arab friends growing up who really...
In St. Louis?
Yes.
Okay.
And they showed me a lot about culture, and music was the thing that really stuck with me. They showed me a lot of Khaliji music, for example. I love Khaliji music so much.
Yeah, it's the...
Yeah, so beautiful. And they also showed me a lot of different artists across, the Arab world. And I just really loved the music. I loved how it sounded. I loved the singers. I love how emotional it really made me feel. You really feel the songs that I've heard, at least every song I hear, I really feel. And now, I've remained very close friends with, the friends that I grew up with, and they have since moved back home, most of them, but we still keep in touch. But I feel that whenever I sing in Arabic, I feel nostalgic, thinking about the good times I had with them and how they really embraced me and showed me so much about their culture and their music, which was so influential in my life, honestly.
And that made you want to learn?
Yes, it made me want to learn, as much as I could about the language, as much as I could about culture, and as much as I could about music. So
that's absolutely lovely. Phonetically speaking, that must have been a challenge to learn, those kinds of, because obviously it's a very different, version of English, and you have the kha and the ha and all those different, phonetics. So how challenging was that to learn?
Well,
because I wouldn't know that you didn't speak Arabic hearing you sing.
Oh, that's amazing!
Beautiful.
Thank you. That's so nice to hear, because I'm always nervous. But my friends taught me, of course, the ha and the ha sound. Yeah, the ha. Well, the ha sound, I speak French, so there's the ha sound in French. So that was okay. And even now, I have friends in Boston that whenever I have a song, I'm like, can you listen to me? Do I sound crazy? And they're like, no, just say ha, ha, ha. They yell at me. My friend told me the other day I had to say this exercise. It's like ha, ho, hey, like this. He said, do it 79 times. Do it over and over and over again. And so I practice all the time. So I receive a lot of help.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. Do you know another song in Arabic at all that you can share with us?
I could do, well, my favorite one to sing, I guess, is Arif Minin.
Okay.
Amal Maher.
Okay. So. Arif Minin.
وعرف منين وازاي وامتى اني هقابل واحد واحبه من طرف واحد ومين بدي كان اختار يوم يقابل مين بحول معه بجد ما يشنفقه وحوله وشايفة لو نسيت أولى وحاس عليه ما حدش عارف الخير فين عايش ازاي عشان واحد ما بيعيش ليش لا مني ما ولا أنا عارفة ما كنش معاه وضيع لي سنين بعد انتج على ما فيش ده حب الزايد منا والكانت معنا.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Very, 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 very lovely. So Lydia, your inspiration. I know that you said a lot of friends and what have you, but family. Do you have the support? I mean, obviously you do. I mean, they supported you and they worked with you and what have you. And now you're living in Boston and your family's in St. Louis. So what's that like being in Boston, pursuing a career? And what would you say for the young girls and the young boys out there who want to pursue something like that? What would your experience and your advice be to them? them?
Sure. Well, it gets lonely sometimes, to be honest. But you know, at the same time, everyone has their own path in life, and a lot of times, if you do, I guess it's with any profession, but you know, especially I feel with creative professions, there's a lot of opposition because you question, how am I going to make money? How am I going to survive on my own? But really, my mantra has really been, if you want it, you will get it. And you really cannot deviate from that path. You really have to just every day take one thing that you know will progress you in some way and do it. You know, and you know, you'll reach that goal. You'll reach that. I think for anybody who wants to pursue any goal or passion, nothing is too big, nothing is too far to reach, and you just really have to go for it 100%, make your plan, and go.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. The entertainment business, you know, unless you really, really do have, you know, it's all in connections too. You have to know the right people, but you have to have the talent too to be able to progress. And obviously, you know, you have that talent.
Thank you.
So, what's your vision? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to take this? And you know, what is your plan to go forward? I mean, you're in Boston now. Do you plan on staying there, or is it something more globally?
Well, if I'm honest about my true dream, I would.
And you have to be.
I have to be, because it's hard to recognize in yourself at first, and then even more hard, I think, to communicate to others. But I really, really, really would love to go to Dubai or Beirut, and I would love to sing. I just really want to sing Arabic music in any way I can, and I would love to even combine Arabic songs with English songs that I'm writing, and you know, really pursue that as my craft. And just my passion would be to live somewhere in the Middle East. I can learn the language, you know, and I can really feel the music that I'm singing, really know where it's coming from, and really understand everything about it. And if I could develop a career doing that, I think it would be the most fulfilling for me.
Oh, absolutely, and that has been done. You know, where they mix the genre
Yeah.
together, and it's absolutely lovely and beautiful. So probably maybe connecting with one of the artists, Shakira. You got to connect with Shakira.
I do love
I can see
Shakira.
Lydia and Shakira just going for it and making some really beautiful music together.
I do love Shakira.
There you go. Absolutely, absolutely. So you write your own music as well.
I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You sang us one of your originals. Do you have another one at all?
Sure. I could sing a song I wrote called I Know Better.
Okay, I like that. I know better. I like that.
I know it's not my place, and we all have our faults. I could see it in your eyes, what's tearing us apart. And I felt a call to me to answer all your wishes. And it wasn't right, I know, to give you all I've given. And if reason followed fantasy, I'd be better now. But all I have is you to put my feet on solid ground. Why do we fall just to mend? A bitter soul so envious to pull us down again. To stand back up and pretend that yesterday is far away. Well, I know better now.
That's lovely, and you wrote that.
Yes.
And there's more lyrics to
Yeah.
that as well. Well, that's beautiful. Have you done any actual recordings of the songs that you've written?
Yes, I'm working on recording my next. I recorded an EP, and now I'm working in the studio to record my next. I'm not sure if it's gonna be maybe just single releases or if I'm gonna do a collection, like another EP or something like that. But right now I'm in the process of recording, so I'm working on that every day in Boston. So.
That's absolutely, absolutely wonderful. You have the talent, and you have the dream, and you have the focus. And are you coming back here at all?
I think so. I might be. It's not confirmed yet, but on May 8th I might be performing with the National Arab Orchestra here. So
great, great. The,
yeah.
the National Arab Orchestra is something that is really becoming an icon for us too, and they've traveled as well and sing. Siham Awada Jaafar is one of the singers there, and Michael Ibrahim is the actual conductor, and they have really made beautiful music, and I can definitely see the connection and see a beautiful added gorgeous element to that whole symphony with you. So I'll look forward to watching that and seeing you there.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to ask you to sing another song while we wrap this up.
Okay.
While we're wrapping it up.
Sure.
Thank you all for joining us with Lydia Lyon and Off the Cuff. And if people wanted to actually look you up, do you have a website? Do you have anything that they can look you up at?
Yes, it's www.lydialyon.com.
Okay, so if you want to follow Lydia and her success, you can go to her website. And we are going to end with a beautiful song from Lydia. Thank you for joining us on Off the Cuff. And here's Lydia.
Unbreak my heart, say you love me again. Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out on my life. Uncry these tears I cried so many nights. Unbreak my heart, my heart.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you all for being